today's video is. Today's video will be about me making a simple locomotive that I think you can try out home for yourself. And I hope this is simple enough to build, and let's get started. Now what you're going to need to make this simple locomotive is a Gandy dancer, a regular truck from any rolling stock or equipment will do, and the next option is to build a locomotive, a bullet shell, or you can use a straw to make a boiler or pistons, which, if you see what I mean, this is going to be the boiler and this is going to be the pistons and the smokestack. You're going to need some metal, or you can use sheet styrene or whatever you can find, cardboard maybe. For this project I'll use these. Now to start off with is plan before you build of how you're going to build it. In case we're going to build, I don't know if it's going to be hard to see, but we're going to build this. Should be simple enough, I think. First you're going to need something thick like styrene, or what I'm going to use is this. This is from a pencil that's part of the eraser. And what you're going to do is simply take it off, and once you take it off, you easily squish it. These things are so easy to squish. And then what you're going to do is glue it on simply like so. Oh, and Sparky, if you're watching this, I am going to use these gloves for the project. This glue dries for 30 minutes. It's called Loctite, or you can find any glue that you desire to use. The way to make the frame is pretty easy. All you need is simple scissors, because if you have decent sharp scissors, they can cut through metal easily. That's soda can, or you can use sheet styrene or whatever you can find. Maybe cardboard. Now what you're going to do, if you don't know how to scratch build, that's fine. You're going to have to use gloves first, because what Sparky gave me, these gloves, they're safer than what I normally do without using them. They protect you from getting stabbed with the soda cans. All you're going to do is cut the edges like so. And the reason why you do that is because it gives a better chance of making this fit perfect size. And keep the metal shards to a side, or put them in a cup or something that you would throw away later, because these are obviously sharp and dangerous. And you got a better piece of metal, and what you're going to do is eyeball it, or you can measure, whatever you choose. And what's easier for me is you can get a Sharpie or a pencil, and you simply just mark where you want it to cut, like so. It might be hard to see, but the lines are there. And we're going to cut like so, and cut some more. Now the next step you're going to do is you're going to bend right here, like so, and the part that I forget easily sometimes is you don't want it too low, so that either the wheel gets caught right here by the soda can, or you don't want it too low that it hits the track, because that could cause a short. And you do the same thing on the other side. I marked my place. It might be RC, but it's literally right there. I'm gonna bend it again. Alright. And easy way to fix this problem, to cut it again, is eyeball it again from here to here. And if you might get it right, it will simply look like that. And if it looks uneven, you can simply just cut it again. And test fit. You always want to test fit, because if it doesn't test fit, then you would have to modify it again. And like so, it looks a little off. So I'm gonna simply cut it off again. This part's very important. And it looks decent enough. I'm going to take it off and put Loctite on here. I always use this glue for almost all my projects. It's been rare since I haven't used Loctite. I want to use Gorilla Glue on a different project. Now, you're going to press it right here. And let's wait for it to dry for 30 minutes and we'll get back to this once I show you how to build a tender. I guess I haven't told you, but this frame is going to be the locomotive and this is going to be the tender. Tender is more simple than making a locomotive, to be honest. We just cut what you desire of how much metal you need, and then you do the same thing. Again and again. There. Now the one thing you can easily do is right here. You simply put your metal right here. It's gonna be hard for me to do at the same time, but you got to do this. Now what I'm doing here is I'm putting lines to know where to cut. It'll all make sense once I'm done right here. So yeah. It's gonna be like a X, basically. You can think of it that way. Like that. And you cut where you put your lines. Exactly where the lines are. And the result should be this. Now the reason why I did that, so you can actually bend right here and right here and right there. Right. And then you test it on the Scandi Dancer. If the metal's too long, that's fine, because you can always cut the extra stuff, the excess. The next thing you should actually do is cut right here. It should look like that. And if it doesn't look right, you see what I'm making is where the coal is. Like that. And then what you should do, I cut like this. And you simply bend it back and forth until the metal breaks. And then you bend it like that so it comes off. And there, voila. You got yourself a tender. Next thing you're going to do is test fit it again. And if that doesn't work, then I would suggest cutting around where the motor and everything is. Well, here's a good example of what to correct. You see, I haven't fit this properly yet. And as you can see, it's not lined up correctly. So what I'm going to do is see where it is and then simply cut away where it's blocking it. Then test fit again. I think it's pretty decent. You can make it however you like. And there's your tender. It's close to done, but not yet. Okay, that should be good. But the only problem I'm a little worried about is this Scandi might make it short, because as you can see, you're gonna have to put some insulation where the metal is, because that's the only thing that it picks up to get power to run. And yeah, so we're gonna leave that to a side to deal with later, and check on this. And if you don't like seeing these trucks right here, the simple way you can do is like last time, how we built the frame. And then you line it up. Same thing. And if it doesn't line up, then you cut where it needs to be. Yeah. Let's see. Right. And then you bend it to the right position by eyeballing it. That's what I always do, is eyeball things, because it feels so much easier than measuring. If it's a little warped, the thing I would do is bend it like this, because soda can bends in a curve, because that's what its original shape was before cutting it up and stuff. Now what I'm going to do is, the simple way of doing this is, if there's letters and words right here, that could be really helpful. I'll show you what I mean. If there's letters right here, it could help you line up properly, like from where you should cut. So in our case, we should cut right to the C and the A, like so, and then cut all the way down right here. I think that's a perfect match. Well, actually, we shouldn't cut there. It's a good way to bend, but right about here's my guess where you should cut the green. And then, once you pick your place where the green is, cut right here. And then the C and the A we're going to bend. What I mean by C and A is like right about here. And then bend it like that. And if it's uneven again, then we just cut right here. And the important part of this project, if you're going to do this, is find a truck that easily spins like this. Because if it doesn't, then this Gandy Dancer will have trouble moving it around. Like if the wheels are trucks, have a more problem to move less freely. Now, you're going to test fit it to see if it works. It's always important to test it, because if you don't, then it might go wrong enough down the line. Alright, then what you're going to do is, and then you're going to glue it like so. Okay, that was too much glue. Oh well. It might ooze out. That's the only problem, is if you have to have a decent amount. Yeah. And if this happens, what you can do is put it in a position where the glue can ooze out without ruining the wheels. And eventually, if you move it around, it's gonna get less caught in the paper towel. And that's good to have a paper towel if you're doing it on a kitchen table or. And here's how you make a boiler. You can simply use a straw or this bullet shell, and you can test fit it by doing this. And the reason why I do that is just see if it looks good. And if it is, then what you can do is simply just glue it on there, like so. You gotta put an even amount of glue. That's the important key of doing this. And right, voila. Now I would rather use straws for this project, because bullet shells this has more weight than a straw, and it will like tilt more. So that's why I put this pencil right here to do that. And what I'm gonna add is these tiny bullet shells. You can use smaller straws because straws are in different sizes. And what you're going to do is, just a little bit here. And then you're just going to plop right there that easily. And same thing with the other side. There we go. I think that looks good. Okay, it rolls good. That's a good sign, but the only problem, yeah, you see what I mean? You gotta put the pencil right here so it doesn't like glue in the wrong position. Right. The last thing to do is the cab. The cab is the most easy way of doing it. It's like similar building this tender right here.